Brandon, I'm excited that we keep getting to do these things, and I swear we keep getting to meet cooler and cooler people, and I'm excited for the pours that we're going to have tonight. What do you think about this lineup?
I listen. You know how big of a fan I am of this brand. I'll let you introduce it, let him introduce it. But I think a lot of people that drinks bourbon, likes bourbon, is very fond of this brand, very fond of this distillery, both brands, if you will. And I'm excited about some new stuff they've got coming. So yeah, so I'm ready.
Well, then let's not wait around and let's introduce. He's the master. His official title, Master Blender, Vice President of Product Development at Lofted Spirits, which people may know a little bit better as Bardstown Bourbon and Green River. Let's welcome in Dan Callaway.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm just looking forward to some fun pours with you and talking bourbon. So appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I figure we'll hop in to the first pour, then start asking questions. So the first up is, kind of one of your, the Origin
Oh
series
man,
originally,
there you
uh,
go.
the this straight bourbon whiskey. I mean, what can you tell us about that
Yeah.
bad boy?
So that's that. You might be holding the most important bourbon in our portfolio, right? So we started distilling September of 2016. So this liquid you're smelling would have come right about that time, September 2016, building the distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. And what I always point out with our founder Pete Lofton, the idea bringing modern bourbon to a traditional area. So if you know anything about bourbon, Bardstown is the bourbon capital of the world. 11 distilleries within 16 miles. Let's build a modern distillery surrounded by all that history. So we laid down bourbon. Then our tenets that we built the company on: innovation, collaboration, transparency. We'll see throughout the tasting this evening. What we're drinking now is 6 years later in time, right? Barrel aged, 60% corn, 36% rye, 4% barley. It's our core bourbon expression. That high rye mash bill is really going to pop, a lot of spice, and you're really going to feel it on the back end. Great sipper. Also, because of the personality, awesome in a cocktail.
No, this is fantastic. Coming in 96 proof, Brandon. What you thinking? I mean, as you continue to go back for another pour, another
Yeah.
sip.
It's
I
funny.
mean,
So this is the one we were nervous out of the gate. This was the first thing we ever released in a competition. Was this bourbon, International Wine and Spirits competition in London, and this won Bourbon of the Year. So it was
like,
really really affirming for our first release out of the gate.
I mean, as I can see why, because it is just, I mean, as smooth as you can get. I prefer, John, I think prefers, we prefer the high rye mash bill because I love, I get more sweeter notes on the rye and the high mash bill, but I also appreciate the spice that comes on the back end to kind of balance it out.
Yep.
Um, and this one's no different. And you kind of get that good spice. It's kind of like a salty spice on the back end for me, but I don't know if that's even a thing. Um, but it's just kind of like that, like savory. It kind of leaves you. I mean, it kind of leaves you with that juicier mouth feel. When you want more, go back for more. Doesn't dry your mouth out. But that's. I mean, I don't know how you. I don't know how you
I mean,
can't.
it's just tasty. It's just damn tasty. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just.
yeah,
I mean that
yeah.
for
Just
the
straight down
first
the
one that
middle.
you guys put out. I mean, like
Yeah.
Brandon said, I love the high rye because it gives you that kind of fuller expression, fuller experience for me anyway.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
flavorful. I mean,
You-
that's
You're
doesn't get
spot
much better than
on.
that.
The other delineation there is it's 6 years, right? Minimum 6 years. So you're getting that balance where a lot of flagship bourbons maybe 4 years. With 6 years, you're getting more barrel influence, which is going to add more wood sugar and balance that spice with barrel and caramel notes.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Chris can't
Yeah.
beat it.
Now I got to ask you a
Yeah.
question, Dan.
Yeah, hit me.
How does a musician and certified sommelier get into whiskey?
Oh man. Uh, I was always a musician my whole life. I thought I was going to do music and did it all. Family musicians, did it growing up, high school, all through my 20s. And I was doing these tours in China over Christmas. And I met my wife, who is from Kentucky. She was on the same tour. And so I drove up to Kentucky without a plan. And I always loved cocktails. I always loved wine. And I just said, let's go into that. Went crazy, obsessive, same way I was with music, just really into wine, and got my wine certifications, and was running a wine program, doing some cocktail articles, and then became friends with Joe Herron, who founded Copper and Kings, and he knew the folks at Bardstown, and he set me up, and I came down initially to build the bar at Bardstown Bourbon Company, which was new legislation, right? Think about that in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new idea that you could have a full service bar attached to a distillery. So it was awesome timing. I came down to open that up, and then from day one was just trying to scoot over into product development and blending and finishing, and had some awesome friends and mentors that helped me out along the way.
What was it about Bardstown that like said, man, like
Oh man,
I can just
yeah,
move here. I can go into the bourbon world. You did all
yeah,
this work. You're one of like what, two people in the world that's got your sommelier or whatever it is. And
yeah. I mean,
nah, but it's really difficult to do though, right?
yeah, it
To
was.
yeah.
What's crazy is when I came down, knowing bourbon, I had never been to Bardstown before. My first interaction
Okay.
was the interview, and you
Yeah.
pull up to the building, and it was like nothing I had ever seen before. I was fortunate where they had already, it wasn't open, but they had already built the exterior, and they
Hmm.
were looking to fill it out.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. So I came in, I met the team. My interview was tasting distillate. I think I tasted eight different distillates. And we just
Nice.
talked about them and talked about
Yeah.
flavor and where things could
Yeah.
go. And I'm excitable now. I was probably more excitable then.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, we could do this, and what if we did this? And I
Yeah.
think our energies matched, and I started like 2 days afterwards. I started and have never looked back.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, and for those, I mean, I love the distillery. I especially love the restaurant and the bar
yeah,
area. I think most people listening, if you've not made it out there, just go
you
out
should.
there and just go out there and have lunch, dinner, and then
Totally,
just sit at the bar because it's just totally worth it for that, for the food, the drink experience.
it's awesome.
Um,
Chef
yeah,
Stu,
it's a
who
good.
is Chef Stu's a Louisville guy,
Yeah,
Kentucky and through. He just does such an awesome job bridging
yeah,
traditional Kentucky with a modern influence, and he runs such a tight program there. So that's worth the trip alone, is popping into the restaurant.
one
Oh
hundred
yeah,
percent.
and like you said, it's a totally different experience that you're going to get at some of the other places, just because of, that it's brand new. Well, sort of brand new. It's a few years old now, but
Yeah.
it's cool, and you guys are doing some real cool things there as well. And I'm guessing when you were talking about how to play with those distillates and things like that, I'm curious if our second pour kind of comes from that creativity, which is the Origin Series Straight Rye finished in toasted cherry wood
Oh
and
man.
oak barrels.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
coming out with my favorite. I love if you ever see a single barrel on the shelf of this. That's really a magical pour. So this came out of, again, the idea of innovation, collaboration, transparency, right? Like how do we innovate? How do we find new flavor? How do we do it together? How do we tell the story? Uh, we had a 95.5 rye that was laid down, and the idea is, how do we make this different than every other 95.5, And so I started popping around to different cooperages, barrel makers, saying, what are you excited about? What do you got in the hopper? And found West Virginia Great Barrel Company, right by the Greenbrier in West Virginia. And one of their barrel makers was growing cherry wood. and he was excited about the flavor. So we started trading. He would send me sticks of cherry wood, and I was trying with bourbon, and then I found our rye. The flavors went well together. The problem is with cherry wood, it's porous. Number one job of a barrel is to hold liquid, right? If you're not holding the liquid, you're not doing your job as a barrel. Cherry wood leaks. So we came up with a way. We interspersed American oak and cherry wood around the barrel, made a zebra barrel so that it held the liquid, right? And then on top of being a zebra barrel, cherry wood barrel, instead of fire, it's infrared light. So that reduces the tannins because you don't have the char. So it's all the wood sugars, it's extracted from the heat, but lower tannins. So we take our rye, we age it in American oak, then we transfer it into a second barrel, which is cherry wood American oak infrared toasted barrels. So this is a double oaked rye. All the cherry comes through. A lot of people don't realize, or I didn't know before this. Cherry wood is the only fruit wood where the wood tastes like the fruit, right? Apple wood doesn't taste like apples. Cherry wood actually, you get all that cherry on the finish. So
I mean,
enjoy.
The nose.
1,000%. The nose is
Isn't
something
that
I've not
crazy?
ever smelled before. Like
Yeah,
it is, like that is just.
it's
I
wild.
mean, yeah. I mean, straight cherries, cordial cherries. Oh man.
And you really feel on the finish too. It rounds out like you get that 95.5 rye that can be really herbal, and you just round that out with the sweet cherry. It's just a really nice mix.
Need to put this in a candle. Not kidding.
It's delicious. I love them. There's also a lot of people call out kind of a nutmeg note on it. You get a lot of the allspice. I love them. I love this expression at cast strength on the single barrel program. I love it at 96. It makes one of the best Manhattans of all time because of the cherry and the flavor.
Yeah.
Just an awesome pour. Yeah, I'm glad you guys picked this out to try.
Well, I
Me
mean,
too.
like I said before on the origin on the bourbon, the rye with the finish that you did, again, it rounds it out in a nice way. Like you get a multitude of flavors that just play so well that you could put this in front of some people and I think they'd be shocked that it's a rye whiskey.
Man,
Well,
you just nailed it. We'll
yeah.
do barrel picks and I'll do blind picks. You know, just pick what you want, and the rye wins. And they don't with the cherry wood. They don't guess it as a rye because it's surrounded by all that sweetness. It's wild. This may be one of the better kept secrets in whiskey right now. Is our rye.
And I mean, I'm with you there, and for y'all, obviously, I know the Origin series was something you guys wanted to do because that's your stuff. That's your stuff. You also have the Discovery series and a couple others. But what did it mean for y'all to actually get to the Origin series and be able to put
Yeah.
everything that is yours out there and not a combination or something like that?
Man, you just nailed it. It was everything. It's the most important moment in the company history, right? We came out of the gate sourcing. We used a lot of blends. We were finishing. We were getting products out there. With the Fusion series, we started working our 2 and 3 year old into the blend as it got older. But the moment that defined the company was, hey, here's our 6 year old spirit, 100% grain to glass, distilled, aged, and bottled on site. We called it the Origin Series just so everyone was really clear. You know, this is our stuff. We distilled it. There are 4 expressions currently. And with the packaging refresh, we're actually, as we now become an established brand, we're dropping Origin, right? We want the norm, the core of our packaging, everyone to know that we distilled, aged, and bottled it right on site.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like that.
It was a big
So
moment for us.
yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. Like, I mean, and and speaking of that, like you mentioned, going out and working with different folks, but you had different collaborations, with different partners like Plantation Rum, even Goose Island Beer. And from what we were talking to Steve about the Bourbon Festival, and Steve was even telling us that the barrels that was coming from Goose Island, that the barrels were still wet from the beer.
Yeah.
So, well, just tell us about what you look for in top. What are you looking for? What's your mindset when you're looking for a collaborative partner to make something unique, something different, somebody's not doing?
It's a great question. I think the key with a collaborative partner is they're not legal contracts. There's not a
Mhm.
corporate agenda. A lot of them are set up on Instagram. They're set up just through meeting at festivals, and they happen naturally.
So
With
people are sliding into your all's DMs. That's what
yeah,
happens?
yeah, yeah, exactly
That's
right.
awesome.
With Goose Island, right? So, um, it's so important with beer, right, and with wine that you leave what we've really pioneered is leaving a little residual liquid in the barrel,
Yeah,
right? Traditionally in the industry, you're going to rinse the barrel dry because think about wine, right? If
yeah,
you leave a bottle or a glass of wine out for a couple days, it's going to turn to vinegar,
yeah,
right? So traditionally in the industry, everyone rinses the barrel so the residual doesn't turn to vinegar. What we figured out is to ship the barrels basically as soon as they empty, we pump them with argon gas. Argon, just like a Coravin in wine, it's a heavier gas that displaces the oxygen. So you take the oxygen out, you put argon gas in, you saran wrap them, then you put them on a refrigerated truck and you ship them immediately to the distillery, right? So all the flavor is maintained in that barrel. So
yeah,
we are shipping wet barrels to Bardstown, then
yeah,
we have our team ready to fill them. So our finishes are different than a lot of finishes you come across because they actually have the liquid of the original in there. So whether it's Silver Oak Cabernet or Goose Island Stout, you're going to taste the original liquid in the blend.
yeah. That's something you never heard of too, because you always see distiller or not distillers but breweries aging in opposite way, right? And I'd never seen a distillery taking whiskey, bourbon, and we're going to age it into a stout beer barrel.
Right,
Um,
right.
and and that is one of my favorite pours of anybody, especially you guys make, because that one is a fantastic pour.
That's
That
awesome.
Goose Island, it is,
Cheers, man.
it's so
It's
good.
so fun. I think it's a misunderstood one too. Sometimes people don't understand that it's like meant to be drunk
Yeah,
with a stout. Like it's in that mindset of like this is a stout and a bourbon.
yeah,
And once you get there and you're enjoying it, it's just magical.
absolutely, one hundred
I was gonna
percent.
say I've been enjoying all of these. I feel like we're on a magical carpet ride right now, and we're about to hit the one that Brandon was the most excited about. Granted, I don't know if you knew what ride we were getting into tonight, but
Oh, I
the
didn't.
next one is the one that he has been most excited about, and that
That's
is the high wheat bourbon.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I've got to give a shout out. You know, I work a lot on the blending team, the barrel team. Um, with the high wheat, this is our director of distillation, Nick Smith, who has studied under Steve Nally. Steve Nally, our master distiller, former master distiller at Maker's Mark, known affectionately as the Wheat King. His protege Nick Smith, came up with this recipe while Steve was out of town. And when Steve came back, Nick tasted him on the distillate versus Steve's core weeded, and Steve said, "Oh man, I love this." And the one he picked that he loved was this recipe right here. It's 53% corn, 39% wheat, 8% barley. So it's the highest wheated bourbon released from the state of Kentucky. Amazing pour. So with wheat, you're going to get that. You know, I would say wheat is sweet, rye is dry, but wheat is also passive, lets
mhm,
other things through, creamy, rich mouthfeel. The other hallmark, as you're enjoying it, low barrel entry proof. So went into the barrel at 107, released at 106. So minimal water added to this, which is why it's so viscous and thick on the palate. Just delicious pour.
Wow. I mean, that's something you just don't, like you said, it's the highest one.
Yeah.
Wow. John?
It's just flavorful. Again, I know I've used that word multiple times, but because of the different things you guys are doing, like we had a high rye bourbon, we've now had a high wheat bourbon, two totally different flavor profiles, but both bringing, as Brandon likes to say, and I've picked up on this. Like this one's very juicy in the sense that like it's just there's flavor everywhere in your mouth, and it's not drying it out, and it's just one you want to go back to.
Yep.
Yeah. I think flavorful really defines this. It's just like brimming, bursting with flavor.
Yep.
Low. It's also $49.99 to me right now. This might be the best value in bourbon.
106 proof. You couldn't tell me that's 106 proof either.
Yeah, and it went into barrel at 107. There's no water added, essentially, right? It's amazing. This thing's. I love it.
I would have guessed this was under 100 proof.
Yeah.
If I was just blind taste testing.
And not because it's not flavorful or anything, just because it's I hate to use this word, but it's super smooth. I mean, it's just it's burn, no any craziness.
That's the 39% wheat, right? Where it's just this rich, fat, viscous mouthfeel that is just delicious, man. This is my go-to sipper, really.
I was gonna say this could easily be anybody's. Just come home during the middle of the week, hard day at work.
Totally.
Just easy every day, every night, whatever it is, whatever you need.
It's also
keeping your kids during a snow day.
I bring this one. The flip side is I will feel comfortable bringing this one to a bourbon hangout, and it'll hang with everything. Like, hey guys, here's the bottle I brought. Try it, sip it, pass it around. It holds its weight with so many other pours.
Absolutely, and I got to show the two bottles because you guys just recently redid the branding. If anyone was as you're watching as I showed them, will notice the new branding on the high wheat. Here's the original bottle for like the Origin series and everything. It's And then obviously, what made you guys want to do a brand refresh? Also, I enjoy the topper is a whole different topper.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
everything about this bottle.
Map of Bardstown. I think what drove it is our personal experience as a company of us showing up to a bar and trying to order a specific Bardstown Bourbon Company bottle, and just having transparently having a nightmare. It's the Bardstown Bourbon Company Origin Series, Black Label, Bottle and Bond, and there's 3 others that look identical. And there was no clarity. So the drive, the impetus for this was how do we have clarity for our consumers of what they want to order? So we stripped it down to this is the pour, this is what it's called. High wheat. Bourbon, bottle and bond. Make it simple. And then I think what you'll see coming off of this is an elevation for our discovery and our collaborative series where they feel more premium. Right now, our $160 bottle does not look or feel a lot different than our $44.99 bottle. And so we're going to separate that and elevate our premium releases.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm enjoying that idea a lot, and I love. So on the label, then too, is that Bardstown as well? If you can feel the label and look at the label,
exactly. That's the topographical map, and I think it's a nice tie-in to the location. Coming back to that idea of being a modern take on traditional bourbon, we do want to celebrate all of Bardstown and being in the bourbon capital of the world. That's important for us.
Yep. No, I agree.
love that. Brandon, you want to introduce our next pour?
Yeah.
I'll show off the bottle. You can introduce it.
I gotta pour it first. Hold on. All right.
A little bit different looking bottle.
A little bit
Oh
different.
man, here we go.
Now,
Party.
I've been a big fan of Green River even before you guys, you know, uh, added them to the portfolio. But Green River Foolproof, which everybody that's fans of the show knows that I'm big fan of anything foolproof because I feel like that brings the most flavor most times. But
Yep.
really excited about the Green River Foolproof. Just be said, because I've been a fan. So yeah, tell us about what it adding them. I think you guys added them in 2022,
You're exactly right, Brandon.
and then and then balancing those two brands and how that's going. And
I would just say, what a gift, right? For
yeah,
Green River. It was crazy. So when we were looking at the facility, to be honest, we were looking at to have more distillation capacity. We were leading in custom spirits, custom production. Our partner brands were growing, brands we distilled for, and we couldn't keep up with their growth. So we needed to make more custom bourbon for our partners.
yeah,
And there was this amazing distillery that was making beautiful liquid in Owensboro, Kentucky. And initially went after the idea for distillation capacity with no concept or appreciation of the Green River brand. At the time, they had done a lot under OZ Tyler, this rapid aging, which we were not a fan of. We fell in love with the brand of Green River, right?
Mhm.
After we learned about it. Back to 1885, DSB KY10, this crazy rich history, and an absolute unicorn in Kentucky distilleries, in that the still is still going. It's running. It's made all these beautiful bourbons for 50 years right there on site, right? And the brand back to 1885. So we saw what we could do with it. The bourbon was launched. We did the wheated, we did the rye, foolproof single barrels. This foolproof to me is the expression of really true Green River. That's the one I get behind. $49.99. It's a blend of different bourbons. It features the tile warehouses. So Green River used to be the Medley family that owned it, and they had a tile manufacturing plant, and they built these warehouses out of tile. Really thick material, right? That held heat. So instead of 4 seasons, you're really getting 2. Holds the heat for a long time. Crazy development. The Green River Foolproof to me is kind of a tribute to that age in a 6 or 7 year expression.
Huh. Wow,
Cool.
I did not know that about
No.
Isn't that what
about
really going to come when you?
And we've gotten to know a good bit about Green River.
Yes.
Right? It's amazing. You make the trip. It's 2 hours from Louisville.
Yeah.
You see these unique warehouses, 4 stories high, and all out of these clay tile structures that really retain and seal the heat. And we're getting crazy development out of them.
That's
That's
insane.
wild because you also at Bardstown have a very unique one, and that is the open face or
Man.
glass face one.
Yeah.
So what's it like having
So
opposite ends of the spectrum?
They're exact opposites. They're beautiful in their own way. The tile holds the heat, right, for a whole season, so it's staying warm. The glass is day to day. It's like your car, right? The sun hits it in the afternoon, and it's just pounding heat on that. So we're seeing swings day to day. You're going to get a little more sharpness out of that, where the Green River will probably a little more rich and round. But I'm still testing. I don't have a definitive answer. Ask me in 18 months.
I love that because the foolproof 117 proof, like Brandon said, it's cool to see one that is a high proof but it doesn't like come in and you just taste heat or anything like that.
No,
Again,
it's
you're getting a
full
nice
body.
balance of everything.
And I have
It
to
is.
point out, it's not proof down to 117. You know, that's where it ended up.
Mhm.
Uh, so it is really rich and round. I personally really enjoy bourbon at this age. I think it's a nice balance of grain and barrel. You know, I think it's arguably some of the best bourbon is around 8 years old, and this is kind of where this one fights.
I just had a
I love it.
T-shirt idea.
You what?
I just had another T-shirt idea, John.
All right, hit me.
Uh
Rich and round. Come up with a slogan to tie it into to one of the foolproof. Make a T-shirt out of it and rich
I
and round.
love it. Rich and
oh, have the
round.
horseshoe. I mean,
Yeah,
I like it. I
yeah,
love it.
It's good. I
yeah.
think
I
you might
love
have a
it.
future in marketing, Brandon. This is good.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong because the amount of T-shirt ideas that I've come up with on this show just it just hits me. We'll be drinking and somebody will say something or I'll think of something and yeah, uh,
I
Yes,
love that.
it's the
No,
beautiful thing about the spirit, right? It just brings people
absolutely.
together.
it
Yeah.
Hmm.
does,
So yeah,
and I
whether
know
it's
you
Green
got,
River or Bardstown, we're doing some cool
Yeah,
things right now. It's exciting
and
to be a part of.
absolutely.
that's what I love, and you've talked about this too. You guys have worked with a lot of brands, and you brought in more brands when you added Green River. You know, Brandon and I've gotten to know a few of your
Mhm.
partners. You know, 15 stars with the
Yeah.
family there.
Oh,
I'll never
shout
forget
out to
Steve.
Rick and Ricky. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Yeah,
Rick and Ricky.
you know, Steve going, it smelled like popcorn in the distillery that
Ah,
day. Like, I mean, what's it like working with such a robust custom portfolio and
man.
working with all these brands?
It's a blessing. Are there two better people in bourbon than Rick and Ricky? I don't know.
I,
Show me
I
two
don't know.
better people.
I'm with you on that. I challenge somebody to that.
Yeah, they're
I
amazing.
love
So
Rick and
it's a
Ricky's awesome.
blessing, right? You're just surrounded by innovators, creative people. I would shout out our master distiller Steve Nally and that generation that set a precedent for how to act in bourbon and how to behave and how to treat one another, and they built a community. So it's very easy. I compare it to music.
Mhm.
It's very easy to hop on a moving train, and they said when you play in the best orchestras, the best bands, the beat's already going, and you hop in. And I feel like that is bourbon culture, is that it's established how you act, and it's a community. So you just kind of hop in a moving train, and I give all the credit to the generations that went before us.
Absolutely.
They're doing some good stuff, and you guys
Absolutely.
are too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You guys,
let's,
you keep everyone in check, right? You go to the festival, everyone kind of understands there's a way to act and a way to behave. Yeah,
yeah. And I love that too because there's some other industries out there in the spirit world or in the, you know, alcohol world where that different, there's a lot of competition, can be a little cutthroat. But and I'll never forget Steve when we interviewed him at the Bourbon Festival. That was one thing I remember him. I like, you know, it stuck in my mind. He's just like, look, he's like, it's all about all of us distillers, all of us distilleries are about, you know, we want to help each other, we want to collaborate with each other. You know, it's just about, you know, coming together, putting a good product
yeah,
out there for everybody to enjoy. It doesn't matter who's doing the best or who's doing the worst. It doesn't matter. Like it just everybody wants to put something out there for everybody to enjoy, and everybody's there to help each other.
that's
So,
awesome. Yep, yep.
yeah,
That's who set the tone, and we just got to live up to it.
yeah.
Yep.
Now, I know you got to run here in a second, but I got to ask you at least one more question. Brandon might have one as well. Is you did the brand refresh, you know, with the new bottles, everything on the labels for Bardstown. Green River's got a fantastic look with the horseshoe on the bottom, top, all of that. What's next for both of these brands and Lofted Spirits that you can tell us that won't get you in trouble? I don't want to get you in trouble.
Oh, you're good. I think Lofted Spirits. I'm for what's next for Lofted Spirits is our partner brands. There are so many partner brands we have that are on the precipice of really taking off. One that already has is 15 stars, right? And we talked about Rick and Ricky. to be with them from the beginning and then see them winning these global awards. It's amazing. And there's other brands that are coming in that we're working with, we're distilling for, that are finding their own path. So I think what's next for us is seeing those distilleries take off. I think you'll see more global expansion from Bardstown Bourbon Company. I think we've set a precedent, and we want to own this idea of being the global brand. So it's all kinds of partnerships in finishing. For Green River, we have the tasting room in Louisville. It's awareness. It is shocking. We live in a bit of a bubble, in the bourbon bubble. How many people haven't heard of Green River, right? So Green River is just awareness, letting people know there's this amazing, crazy brand. So that's where I see
For
us.
like $30, that's 6-year-old stuff.
Great. You have
I
no
mean,
idea. They've never. You could ask 10 people in a Total Wine. What about Green River? They've never heard of us. We have so much work to do on awareness there.
but you don't need to work on the stuff because man, that stuff is good and it is priced right. Oh,
Yeah,
That's awesome. I love it.
totally pressed right, and it's delicious. So, but yeah,
Brandon, any other questions for Dan before he's got to continue to work late at
I'm
night?
I'm good. I'm gonna let you hop off and go do your thing. But
Man,
I can't thank you enough. The juice is amazing, and for everybody out
So
there,
good.
what like literally, if you've not been to Bardstown Bourbon, go check them out. Go out there for lunch. Go out there for brunch. Whatever it is,
And if you
have
want
some
a road trip,
cocktails. Yeah,
Owensboro.
and
yeah,
Owensboro,
really. Yeah,
most of
I
the
would say
weekend.
go to barstownbourbon.com, visit Green River online, shoot me a
Yeah,
message on Instagram.
yeah,
I love nothing more than setting people up on a great tour, great experience.
yeah,
Come see
absolutely.
us. This is going to be a big year for us, so appreciate you guys.
I'm
Thank you.
I
excited.
can't I can't wait, Dan. Like I said,
Yeah,
loved every single one of these. Excited to see what you're doing in the future. And cheers,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Cheers,
Cheers.
guys. Thank you. Take
Yep.
care.